What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, welcome. This channel really is it talks about business, talks about car ownership. If you're into cars, check out some of my other videos. I've recently purchased a 2022 Lamborghini Huracan Evo. I've owned other cars in the past, other sports cars, supercars. But this video in specific is spawned because of a comment somebody made on how to stay motivated. It's pretty cool topic, I think. The gentleman was, I think he's 52 years old. He's in sales and he's just having trouble staying motivated. So let's talk about that. Oh, I feel like kind of going down to the bat cave today. So we're gonna go to the basement. This is one of my favorite spots to hang out for obvious reasons. Got some beer on tap here. Probably stay away from that. It's a little early in the day today. But this is where we hang. We just recently kind of finished out this basement. Ooh, I just got my gym equipment in. So I've got no excuses now. I've been kind of working out in here. And it needs to be cleaned up, but I'm stoked. So there's a couple things that I completely disagree with so-called business gurus or motivational folks that just, I think, lead people in the wrong direction when it comes to motivation. I don't think there's enough of that old school grit in people. I guess what I mean to say is, I buy businesses, work the businesses, and then sell the businesses. I don't find a passion. I'm not out there looking for something that completely excites me or a sector that completely excites me. For example, if I found something that was picking up poop or garbage that profited, 7 figures, I'd be buying that company. If I thought that it was scalable, growable, and sellable down the line, I'd be buying that company. So I'm not of the mindset of find something that gets you excited every day. And I just think that that's kind of weak and it sets you up for failure because it puts you in a position to where you're always looking for something to make you feel good. And I don't think you need to feel good to go to work. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad thing to feel good. And I think there's things that you can do in your daily life to feel good in general, but I just don't think that making money has to scratch that itch. I think there's other things that you can do to be a happy person, get up and go to work and kick butt, frankly. So that doesn't really answer the question, what actually motivates me, but it kind of does when you start peeling the layers of the onion back. What does not motivate me is finding something for work anyways, that scratches my soul, okay? I get that itch scratched in my life, and what really floats my boat is getting businesses set up to where I have to put minimal effort in down the road. It takes significant time up front, but I need to implement processes to where I can put significantly less effort, meaning maybe 10 hours per week on that business, and it's generating revenue and continuing to grow and generate more revenue for me. So if I can set those processes up, that's very motivating for me, right? Because then I can go do the things that I want to do. It's kind of like, work hard now for the first year, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, depending on how good you are at business and implementing processes, and you get better as you go along. But work hard up front so that you can reap the benefits down the road. That's very motivating because then you can do whatever the heck you want with your time. I play basketball. Right now I've injured myself and all this other stuff, but generally I like to play basketball and I'd like to play it 4 times a week, and I play it whenever the hell I want. Lunchtime, 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m., go spend 2 hours playing that, go out to lunch every day, take my Lamborghini for a drive. I mean, I really do a lot of leisurely things during the day, and that's very motivating for me anyways, to have a vision and go that direction. There's a guy on YouTube, I see him all the time. I think he started out by buying things at garage sales and selling them. And he preaches a lot about culture, and he preaches a lot about materialistic things. And I gotta say, I disagree again. I'm not saying, look, if your life is wrapped around materialistic things, you're going to be unhappy. Fact. Because you're never gonna have enough, and you're never going to be genuinely happy. If that's what makes you thoroughly happy on the inside, you're going to be empty. And so you're probably not going to be successful because you're going to be miserable. But having materialistic things as goals in life has always been a huge motivating factor for me ever since I was like 15. Cars, for example. I went to a school, I wasn't raised with a ton of money. Both my parents were teachers, and we got a discount to go to a private school. And I went to a school where in middle school, people were showing up with their private chauffeurs and $500,000 cars. I wanted those things like any 15-year-old would. Now I realize looking back that that's not gonna, fulfill me, but it definitely was motivating for me, and it made me say, I'm going to be a business owner. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to be a business owner, and I'm going to find a way to make a lot of money. That seed was planted in my head at a very young age, and it's motivating. So I would say, find some goals that cost some freaking money. I'm not saying, be irresponsible. I'm not saying be irresponsible with your money. I've got this amazing house. I've got these cars. I've got a lot of cool things. Just bought another house in Florida. But I'm not doing it irresponsibly. I waited until I made a certain amount of money a year, or saved a certain amount of money, had a certain amount of net worth. And I've got those guides. You can look guides up on what you should spend on cars versus your income or versus your net worth online. I guess long story short, what I'm trying to say is be responsible, but don't let it hold you back from getting those things. When I go out and buy a new car, I have this conversation with my wife. Even though she's very entrepreneurial minded, sometimes she doesn't see things exactly the same way I do. She would never buy, a $250,000 car or a $500,000 car. I turn to her and say, look, I know we can afford a Bugatti right now. I'm not going to, but when I can responsibly buy a Bugatti, $1 million, $1.5 million car, why in the hell wouldn't I? And she doesn't understand that, because in her mind it's such a waste of money. But what she doesn't see is the car isn't necessarily the thing that I'm looking for. It's the ability to be able to buy the car. I want to be at an income level profiting $10 million a year to my bottom line, that I can go spend maybe $1 million. Still, I think even that would be a little excessive for how I spend. Typically, we spend about 5 to 7% of our annual income on life, whether it be cars or whatever. So we're very, very frugal. But I guess my point here is, why not get those things that you want? You just need to raise your level of income. And that excites me. That's motivating. And so I guess I disagree when I hear people say, well, if that's just what you want, just to buy that BMW just for people to see you, there's some truth to that, because again, if you're living your life for other people, you're not going to be happy. But I also disagree with it because I think it can be very motivating into getting your shit together and making sure that you get out there and you hustle and do whatever it takes to get the things that you want. So I think, get a couple of goals that's going to cost you some big bucks and make it happen. Change of scenery. Gonna take a seat here. Something else that's super motivating for me anyways, one of the pivotal points in my life that I saw is making sure that other people depend on you. If you have your life set up in a way that maybe you're single, maybe you're not in management, you're in sales, you could potentially make a lot of money, and maybe in the past you have made a lot of money, but you're kind of deflated and you're not kicking butt right now. It's really because, number one, you've got no goals, and number two, nobody's depending on you, right? If you've got a group of people that are depending on you to perform, then what happens is you hold yourself to a higher standard, typically. So here's some things that you can do in order to make yourself accountable for your daily actions. First thing that comes to mind, have a family. Some big accountability there. You need to make sure that you're kicking butt for your family, whether it be your wife, kids, whatever. I mean, you've got to think about their college education. You've got to think about sending them to private school. Up your mentality of the stuff that the people that you surround yourself deserve and the people that you love that you want to give for them. Give them the safety of having a future. And so having that pressure, I think, can be good from people that you really love and you want to give to. So I think family is huge, and it helps in a lot more ways than just accountability. But as far as motivation goes, have some accountability and some people that you're working for that's not just yourself. Along those same lines, if it's not family, let it be a team of people. So I have a friend in particular that I'm thinking of who's got all the natural leadership skills that I wish I could ever have. I mean, he would argue against that, but I know I can see raw talent, when I see it. The problem is raw talent doesn't get you anywhere. You can be the most gifted basketball player in the world. If you don't pick up a ball and you don't do your drills, you're not going to be in the NBA. This guy's got all the talent in the world to be a business owner and to be a freaking multi-millionaire. He doesn't have the motivation. And so one thing I've always suggested for him to do, and he wants to do, he's got this desire and he's always kind of asking me and picking my brain. You just have to jump in and take a leadership role, whether it be management or ownership. Even if you feel like you're not ready, you have to take that leap and have people depending on you. That's what's going to get you up in the morning to open the front door at 8 a.m. or whatever you've got going on. He's in real estate in specific, but if you've got a team of people that are learning or want to learn how to do sales and how to conjure up real estate listings, and you've got a system where every Wednesday and Friday or Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or whatever it is, you guys are jumping on the phones and you're cultivating and sharpening those sales skills, guess what's going to happen? You're going to be making those sales calls now because you don't want to be a hypocrite. You want to show folks how to do it, and you don't want to be a hypocrite and just say, yeah, just go do it. I promise it'll work. So again, I think that's another scenario where having some accountability or having some other people hold you to your, I guess, capabilities is huge. For me, that's huge. It's motivating, right? Get people around you that are going to hold you to the standards that you want to be, whether it be family, whether it be a team of people that you're teaching, that you want to grow. It's huge. Don't underestimate that. I think those first few points are something that everybody can kind of relate to and implement in their lives, and it'll do wonders for their motivation. And it might not feel like it at first. It's kind of like going to the gym, in the beginning, and trust me, I need to go. But once you start going and get in that routine, it'll become second nature. So I guess another tip that I would say is fake it till you make it. If you don't feel motivated, just get up and do it. Just do it. You don't have to have your plan 100%. Have it 70% and just do whatever you've been thinking about doing in business or in life, whether it be the damn gym or business or sales or whatever it is. Start doing and you'll learn along the way. You don't have to be perfect. Don't make stupid moves. I'm not saying that. Don't go into things blindly. But as far as motivation goes, start doing, get in the rhythm. Pretty soon it'll be second nature, whatever it may be. And now you don't need as much momentum. It's not as much effort to get up and go do the things that you should be doing, picking up the phone on that business call, because it's a routine now. The last thing that's very specific to me, and I think, once people sort of search their soul, that's a lot of S's, sort of search their soul. I think for me is seeing something grow. I love that. I love seeing something that I can get into. I love finding something that's already doing really well. Again, I buy businesses that are already cash flowing very well. I let that cash, usually I leverage. Sometimes I pay cash for a business, but usually I go to a bank, get a loan, make a down payment. But I let that cash pay the mortgage on that business, which tends to be, 40% of what the cash flow is. And then I reap the benefits of the rest of the cash flow, right? So now I've put a small down payment. Typically, I'll see a couple 100% return on my investment in cash flow after debt services. And in that debt services, since it's only a 10-year loan, about half of that goes to the equity and half of it goes to interest. And so, really I've got 250 to 300% return on my investment every year. So I love seeing the numbers of a business grow, whether it be financially or structurally of that business. So to me, it's very motivating to come in, see something that's already working really well and make it work better. How do I get this to be a little bit more profitable? How do I get this? Where can I see an end in sight to where I'm going to sell this thing for 50% more than I bought it? Or, heck, double what I bought it. But typically, if I can get 50% more than I bought it, I'm pretty happy. Because remember, it's been making money for me along the way. So if that takes 4 years, I've got 40% of the original purchase price paid off in debt just because of my principal and interest payments to the bank. Plus, it's been making me money along the way, and now it's worth more than I bought it too. So it's like a triple whammy. That excites me. Those numbers, that growth, that really is motivating to me. So once you spend some time looking at these things, it can be very exciting and motivating. So I would say just spend a little bit of time, planning, whether it be financially or whatever. Spend a little bit of time thinking about it. Don't spend too much time thinking about it, because what you can do is it can be paralyzing, and then you just don't start doing. You're always thinking and scheming and planning, and you don't do a damn thing. And I see people fall into that trap too. So don't do that. But definitely spend some time thinking and planning. So that's what I got for you guys today. I just wanted to do a little video about how I stay motivated. I'm working on a deal right now, by the way. I made an acquisition in December for my wife to run, as you followers may know. I've made an offer on another deal. I've got to be a little bit tight-lipped about it because I'm under a non-disclosure agreement. But I'd love to share those details with you guys, once I close. June 1st is the closing date. So I'll be able to share a lot more on the details of this deal. But you know what I could do? I could do a mock-up deal and show you guys some details of what the economics looks like on some of the deals that I've done in the past and the deal that I'm working on now. So if you guys are interested in acquisitions, let me know in the comments, and I'll make some more content on that. But for now, stay motivated, guys. Stay safe, stay healthy.